Buenos dias, Gunners Collective TV. Back at it, you already know. Like a torta with some bad habits. Bye up, bye up. Let's get to the intro. Welcome back to the channel, and if you haven't already hit that like and subscribe button, make sure you go ahead and do that. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directing the direction of the dope content that the gun stays kicking, and I appreciate all the support. So I told you guys yesterday, today was the day. They are back on the docket. The monsters have entered the tira, right? They're on the tira, just like Ahmed would say, right? They entered the building, man. They're going to be going to court today. And I'm going to break it down on how I feel, my perspective on what's going to happen today. And it's not everything everyone thinks it's going to be. Now, I'm also hearing that Rebecca Haro, the mother monster, the monster of mothers, right? One of the worst women walking around today. 2 incidences have popped up. Now, I don't know if they're rumor. I don't want to spread cheeseman propaganda, but they must be addressed. 1, Exhibit A, right? Exhibit A is that someone was able to get at Rebecca and touch her up a little bit. Did it happen? Did she get touched up? I call bullshit, right? Because more people would be talking about it. It'd be more out there, but there is someone who claimed to have been in the county jail with Rebecca Haro and that they did put her in C-section. And when she was there, she ran into someone who felt some type of way, felt a little froggish, and leaped. Now, whether she was assaulted or not, I don't know, but it has also come to light that she had a secret court date yesterday, and it had something to do with her lawyer. Now, I've never heard of secret court dates. I've heard of pop-up court dates. Just all of a sudden, you're on the docket and you don't know why. Your lawyer has somehow figured out a way to come up with some type of fucking bullshit to get you in front of the judge for whatever reason. Now, I'm always skeptical about Rebecca in this situation, and I'm going to break it down on how I think her separation in this case probably will help her, unfortunately, right? Now, we're going to get into a lot of it, but they are on the court docket today. Now, what's going to happen is they're going to be transferred at 8 o'clock this morning or even prior to 8 o'clock this morning to the courthouse holding cells where they'll sit Rebecca and Jake separately with no communication and wait till their lawyer comes and gets at them separately, and then they will be put on the docket to go inside the courtroom. This could happen at any time today from 8 in the morning to say about 11:30, 12 o'clock, but they could be sitting there all damn day. No one knows when the other court cases, because they are on the chain, will end. Some take longer. You got breaks for the judge, breaks for the district attorney, breaks for the attorneys. You got to wait for attorneys to come. There's a lot that goes into court day, okay? It's usually an exciting day for some people because they know they're going to be released, they're going to be sentenced. There's people that are just starting out. Now, this one right here is an arraignment. What's going to happen here, right, is a dry run. They are going to go to court and it's going to be continued. So that way their lawyer and the prosecutor can gather more evidence in this case, because this is an ongoing investigation. See, baby Emmanuel has not been found yet. There's still just circumstantial evidence. And believe me, the district attorney wants the detectives to present them with as much evidence as possible. So that way, when they do try this case, if it ever goes to trial, they could dot their I's and cross their T's. Now, I'll tell you guys this right now, coming from an ex-convict standpoint, Jake is cooked. Hungry man's cooked chicken dinner. Winner, winner. No, no, no. Chicken dinner, you're done, right? And I'm glad that he's done. So much of the evidence is pointing at him. And best believe him and his lawyer are going to try to come up with a story to distance themselves from Rebecca eventually. Has it happened yet? So far, so good. Allegedly, what they're saying is Jake has not spoken ill on Rebecca and is continuing to say, my wife didn't do nothing. It was an accident. Fuck you. Straight up. Another thing, Rebecca had this secret court date without Jake Haro. So what was said in that courtroom? What was told to her? What shenanigans is her lawyer trying to play to manipulate the system and get her up out of this, just like Jake's Timu lawyer did a long time ago and got Jake up out of the first situation with Promise? I don't know. This is what's going to happen. They're going to go to court this morning. Their lawyer is going to argue for a continuance, which the judge will grant immediately because this is the way it goes. They're going to formally plead not guilty. Okay? It is the first time that they're going to stand up in court and make a plea. Jake, of course, is going to plead not guilty. Rebecca, of course, is going to plead not guilty. And this doesn't mean that they have no guilt. This is just what happens in court. You get up there, you always plead not guilty at the first shot. Then they'll start working on deals if they're going to offer deals. In this situation, this is just my belief. I believe Jake is not going to get offered a deal, at least not right off the top. There's still a lot more going into it. And I believe because of public outcry, because of me, because of Ahmed, because of you, because of everybody that's involved in this situation, the police department, the LA Times, the TMZs, the Zuzus and Wham Whams and Wee Wees, and everyone that's participating that all of a sudden has interest, right? Because of the outpour and the public outcry, they're going to lay a demo down. Jake's not going to get no action anytime soon because that judge knows after that first judge fucked that case up with promise that this man needs to be, that these kids need justice. This man needs to be, he needs to be suffering somewhere in a prison cell or, you know, under the lethal injection for the rest of his life. Now with Rebecca, let me tell you what's probably going to happen. This is just my perspective on it. If I was an attorney, this is what I would tell my client. Okay, there's a thing called a 90-day speedy trial. For those of you that don't know what that means that anyone who's incarcerated that is looking at a case has the right, you know, to file a fast and speedy trial. That means everything, all evidence presented against them, all witnesses, the prosecution has exactly 90 days to have this case wrapped up with a bow on top. 90 days. That's it. 3 months. You know, even if they do not find baby Emmanuel, even if they don't have the evidence that they need, they have exactly 90 days. If Rebecca and Jake Haro were to file a 90-day speedy trial. Now, I know in the case of Jake, the longer that this search goes on and they do not find baby Emmanuel, it bodes good for him, even though it is said that he admitted to already killing baby Emmanuel, accidentally rolling over on him or whatever he said, right? The guy tells more lies than I tell truths. It's crazy, right? But what I'm saying here is he's cooked, he's washed. Let's talk about Rebecca. These secret court hearings got me kind of confuzzled, got me kind of bamboozled. What the hell's going on? I never got me a secret court hearing. It never was a secret. Hey, Baboso, you're going to court. Why? Because we said so. All right. It wasn't no secret. Everybody on the tira knew. Everybody on the block knew I was going to court. Damn, bro, why are they calling you court? I don't know. Maybe they're going to charge me again with some more crimes. Exactamundo. Not, you know what I'm saying? Not Telemundo, but Exactamundo. That's exactly what they charged me with. More crime. So I know how that goes. In Rebecca's case, I do not see her lawyer not expressing to her about the 90-day option. Because if she can get a fast and speedy trial, or even Jake gets a fast and speedy trial, this is going to hurt the prosecution's case. Now, do I think they got a good case against both these monsters? Absolutely. The circumstantial evidence is through the roof. But at the same time, I have seen dudes that were guilty as sin get out and play that loophole, that 90-day fast and speedy trial. You know, it happens a lot in prison. If you're charged in prison for like a prison stabbing, dudes don't give a shit. They're already doing all day, but they're like, man, I don't want to deal with this whole court thing and stretch it out. So they'll do a fast and speedy trial. Now, what's going to happen today is because they're going to get a continuance. If you've been keeping up with the Manny Wise situation in Las Vegas, you guys will know. And of course, Nevada has different laws and different rules and regulations than California. But I can tell you what's going on with California pretty precisely. With Manny, he went to his second court date. What happened? They stretched him out and made his next court date all the way until August. He has to sit his candy ass down for a year in the county jail and fight this case. Now, in the meantime, in between time, the detectives, everyone else will be doing their proper investigation, vetting and doing what they have to do, talking to whoever's going to be their star witnesses and just doing their thing. And of course, Manny's lawyer will have to do that. These cases are similar in the situation that today, when they are arraigned and they plead not guilty, they will be sitting down for quite a while. Now, I don't see them sitting down for a whole year before their next court date because there's going to be a lot of evidentiary. What is it? Evidentiary? How do you say it? I can't say it. I got a slur, right? I'm sick. But They got a lot of hearings that are going to be in the meantime, in between time. So I can see them sitting down possibly for 6 months to 8 months. You guys don't understand. When my brother was fighting his case in the county jail before he ultimately did 25 years in prison, a little under, right? That man sat in county for almost 4 years. I had another homeboy that had a murder case. He sat in county for 4 years. You could sit there in county jail fighting your case. If you think you have a good case or you're trying to wait the prosecution out to give you a good deal, you could sit there for upwards to 5 years. I've seen people do it. Nobody wants to sit in county jail because county jail sucks. Worse than prison, worse than anywhere else. But if it sucks, that's exactly where I want those monsters to be. Wherever you suffer the most is where I want them to be. Okay? I think Rebecca Haro has action, unfortunately. I hate to say it. But if I'm going to keep it real, I got to keep it real. I believe Rebecca Haro has action. I believe without baby Manuel being found, and I did a video yesterday, I don't think he's going to be found, unfortunately. And that sucks for the baby, and that sucks for us that care, right? But that's good for Rebecca. A monster might be able to come up and roar. Doesn't mean she's going to be good. This woman is hated more than the woman that shot Selena, right? But she definitely has action, unfortunately. Without a body, without the baby being found, there is no one saying that she literally abused hands-on baby Emmanuel. She did make a story up. She is acting like a battered woman. And that's what her lawyer's going to say. She was a battered woman. She was scared to death. This guy threatened her. This guy made her do things. And if she's willing to testify against Jake Haro, if she's willing to point fingers, if she's willing to tell us the whole story, then the judge might be lenient and they might work out a deal. The prosecution just wants an open and shut case. They want to prosecute Jake because all this negative energy, negative attention, and negative media they've been getting for the fuck up of the case with Promise, they want to rectify that situation. They don't really want to rectify it, but they're being forced to rectify it, meaning rewind, double back. Now they have to fucking put this man, bury him under the jail, right? Jake is done. Jakey the Snakey, I hope you get earthquakey. You're done. Rebecca has action. And I hate to say it's unfortunate because I think we all know and understand that Rebecca is just as guilty as Jake is. Any woman who allows her child to be hurt in her presence is a piece of... I'm trying not to cuss, but fuck it. You guys just know what I'm saying. She deserves everything she's got coming. If she was assaulted and ran up in the county jail yesterday when this mysterious secret court case happened or secret court hearing happened, which I don't know if either one of those incidences are true, right? But if it did happen, the assault, that was baby Emmanuel from the grave. Straight up. There's a lot of people that feel a certain type of way. And even if Rebecca is given love, even if her lawyer is smart enough to file a fast and speedy trial, so that way all this evidence that they're going to gather after the fact cannot affect her, she could possibly take a deal and go upstate. Now, let me explain that to you. Okay, say if her lawyer is able to work something out with the prosecution and the district attorney agrees, okay, this woman is going to testify against this man. This woman was beaten and battered. We feel some type of sympathetic way for this woman, right? Even though she didn't protect her child. See, in the real world, it's fuck her and him, right? But when it's the law and when it's court, things are differently. And we don't always, obviously, get the results that we want. Because if we did get the results that we wanted, then baby Emmanuel would still be alive. Okay? So the results never, ever are exactly what you want. Sometimes they are, sometimes they are not. Sometimes you get justice, sometimes you get just us. And that's just the truth of the matter. But if she is, say, able to work out this fucking far-fetched deal, that doesn't mean that she is going to be released out of custody. What that means is she could literally take a deal for a 10 to 15 to a 20, go upstate, and every time Jake Haro has court, come back to testify. See, it doesn't matter where she's at, it's where she's going. Do I think Rebecca Haro is going to get out? I seen one person, she's going to get out. They don't have no evidence against her. Bitch, I thought you knew. Let me explain to you. They got all the evidence they need. Hey, at the very least, that woman lied to police officers, so she's going to sit down for that at the very minimal, right? The minimum. There was a baby that died in that home or somewhere around that home. She's not getting out scot-free. There's no way the prosecution will fumble that bag. They're not going to let her out because she is hated. There is a public outcry. There's people that feel some type of way about her. And if she was to just mysteriously get out, like this mysterious court date, like this mysterious assault happened, let me explain to you. She better get the fuck up out the area, because if she stays in that area right there, there are people waiting. I guarantee it. Shit, I'm getting threatened on situations and I didn't even do nothing. We'll get to that later on in another video. Yes, they reached out. As far as Jake goes, notice I haven't been talking too much about Jake because he is exactly where he needs to be. Stressing like a Smith & Wesson, and I'm glad for that. So, to break it down, they will go to court today and nothing unusual will happen. They will have an arraignment. They will formally plead not guilty. There will be a continuance for several months. Okay, unless, like I said, they are smart enough or their lawyer is adept enough to understand and give them the game. And the game is a 90-day fast and speedy trial, because with that, the prosecution will not be able to gather enough evidence. Doesn't mean Jake's getting out. Doesn't mean Rebecca's getting out. It just means their trial will happen within 3 months. And that doesn't mean it starts in 3 months. That's not the way it works. The way it works is they have 90 days to have this motherfucker wrapped up, signed, sealed, and delivered. I'm yours, Stevie Wonder. They have 90 days to gather whatever, or within that time to gather whatever evidence, and let's get it cracking. That is why people found that loophole a long time ago. Now, I'm not here to give them game and to help Jake and Rebecca Haro. I don't think fucking anyone can help them. The only type of help they need is psychiatric help, and even that ain't good enough, right? These people are monsters, and they deserve every hardship they get, because baby Emmanuel's still missing, and they have done nothing to bring him home. We're talking about two people lying out of their teeth, talking about, we love our son. Love you, buddy. I wish I was looking for my son. Bitch, you weren't doing that in the first place. We see when them flyers came out and you looked at Jake all scared, you were like, oh man, he's going to give me another black eye. To which he did, because in that booking photo, you had 4 black eyes. It's crazy, right? I don't care how scared a woman is. I've seen scared women. I've seen beaten and battered women. I've seen women like that didn't know what to do with themselves, and they never hesitated to protect a child. Rebecca deserves the exact day-for-day time or needle that Jake gets, period, plain and simple. These type of tiradas, you let them out, guess what's going to happen? She's going to end up with another bad man, someone similar to Jake, and the beat will go on like a whisper song. I guarantee it. These type of women, they want that type of man, the type of man that beats on the side. And then they use the excuse, well, that's all I know. Nah, you know more than that. That's all you want to know. Stop it. If you notice, I'm telling the truth. There's Ike and Tina Turner. Ike used to beat the hell out of Tina. Tina was the exception to the rule. Tina said, fuck you, Ike, and got pushing. But it took a long time and a lot of beatings for her to do that. Rebecca doesn't strike me as a Tina type woman. She strikes me as a type of woman that will go right back into the same type of situation because she has no one else. Her family don't like her, don't no one like her, and that's what it is. Does she have action at this case? Yes, she does. Sorry to say, without baby Manuel's body, without a real story, without Jake telling the real story or Rebecca telling the real story, then there's not enough evidence to really prosecute her to the fullest if she is willing to testify against Jake. Now, in doing so, she would have to have that deal worked out. That's not going to happen today. Court's going to be a dry run. They're just going to go and plead not guilty, and then it's going to be continued. Because the prosecution definitely, man, is looking into a lot more evidence, gathering of evidence. Because right now, all you have is circumstantial. See, without a body or a murder weapon, or even knowing exactly what took place, which boggles my mind. I know these people did what they did. There's no fucking excuse for what they did at all, and I'm not trying to justify it. Fuck them. But I will say, in the way that the law looks at it, if you don't have no murder weapon, if you don't have no body, if you don't even know how this murder occurred or took place, what do they have? We need them to have something. Do your job better. Break these motherfuckers. Do you need me to go break them? I'll snatch Jake up. I'll have him admitting everything that he did in 5.5 gigawatts. I'm not playing, right? We need people to step up. If these people care so much about the kid, why aren't they just telling us where the baby is? They're saying Jake said he dumped him in the trash. Stop lying. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. But at this point, man, if you love your child, I get emotional. If you love your child at all, man, just tell us where he's at. That's not going to happen in court today. it's going to be called a dry run. That means you go to court just to go to court, hand slap on the wrist, plead not guilty, go back, and then come to court in several months later. Unless, like I said, that lawyer had already got at Rebecca yesterday and said, hey, we're going to file a fast and speedy so that way we can get you out the way. You're going to take a deal and this, and that. Hey, it's not far-fetched. I could see Rebecca taking a deal. The evidence is very, very, very loose around her, unfortunately. Anyways, that's my video for the day. That's the breakdown. That's exactly what's going to happen unless there's some explosive shit. I seen someone saying they found the baby. They're going to admit it at court. I call bullshit again. Once they find baby Emmanuel, which I don't believe will happen, but if they ever do, they're going to do a press conference 5 minutes later. That's a fact on the scene because they want to show everyone. This is law enforcement. They want to show everyone that they did it, and myself and on the tira and everyone else that's been fighting the good fight didn't find the baby, but they did. Well, guess what, babosos? That's your job. So do that. Anyways, with that being said, let me know what you guys think. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive for what I truly believe in, and that's the betterment of all people. Go to the Dubs channel. My boy, go support, go like, go subscribe, go hype his videos, man. He just dropped something similar to this. He's going to give you his perspective on what's going to happen at court. But I'm telling you guys right now, the gun says the bottom line is it's just a dry run, and that's real. Bang, bang.